Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois, and it's time for another live stream. Today is Monday, November 13th, 2023. Today was a busy morning. I was not intending it to be this way, but I finally got the Runners Weekend from 2023 New York City Marathon out this morning, and also I forgot that we had recorded this. This was before New York City Marathon, but I sat down with Thomas and Megan virtually to record an episode of The Drop. Always fun to be in a conversation with them. Even nicer, maybe not always nicer, but it was nice this time that we could record it and put it onto their podcast. So I'm kind of like double exposed today. So unintentional, but feels like it's been a very busy morning for me. And in third piece of news, it's not my news, but I thought I'd share it with you guys because I think you'd want to know it too. And it's kind of like, I can always find a way to make it about me. Also today, I don't know if you guys saw that Laura Green has merch coming out too. And she, because she's so smart, is a genius. Not only is she doing pre-orders, so she doesn't have to worry about inventory numbers. She's also figured out international shipping. She's also figured out someone to do all the logistics and distribution for her. And she's doing it with Rabbit, the same company that I went with for my singlets. So, as always, whenever Laura Green does something, it means that I am about to learn a lot of things. So go check that out. I saw it. It looks great. I instantly ordered something at the moment I saw it because it looks so good. Not that I don't think I needed to because it's a pre-order. It wasn't going to sell out, but I wanted to be one of the first people to order it. So I did. So go check that out as well. And that's kind of related to the real merch news that I want to talk about today. Not that it's real news, it's an update. But let's say hi to everyone first that's listening on the podcast. Welcome to you guys. I always appreciate you guys listening to this on your run or maybe on your commute. Hopefully the drive home is going well. I think the weather's supposed to be nice today, so hopefully you're in for a nice smooth ride. And for everyone watching this later but not live, hope you're enjoying this. The number one place to see shoe unboxings and talk about running influencer merchandise, I guess. Is it the number one place to talk about running influencer merchandise? Influencer merchandise, no, but maybe running influencer merchandise. Maybe. Anyway, hopefully you're enjoying it and welcome. And you know what? For those of you who are not able to catch this live, those of you who listen to the audio-only version, or those of you who watch later but not live, I have to do a tally. I got to figure out how many of the pizza shirts are left. And then the reason I have to figure it out is because I don't have them. ASICS has them. And so I'm going to reach out to them, see how many are left. And then I'm going to figure out a way to distribute to you guys. I'll have to do something randomly in a way that doesn't feel like an Instagram scam. We'll figure something out. I want to make sure that some of you guys get the last remaining shirts. So we'll do all of that. All right. Let's see who we got in the chat here. Mixtape Tony says, I grabbed the PR in the Veterans Day 5K on Saturday with a 19:30 and first place overall. Nice work. And also, I just remembered, I meant to do it, but then I just lost track of time before it. I did take a picture of the shoe wall on the big camera. I will post it to the Kzi Run Club group. I have a feeling that Strava is going to do some nasty things to that. So maybe I'll also post it in the Discord if I could figure out how to do that. But I got to get it off that camera first and then put it on, and then I'll put it up in places where you guys can download it. So that you guys, I did take the picture. And that's why the desk is so clean right now. It's because I had to move everything so that way I could take the picture and then come back. And we also got an unboxing today. It's something that I think a lot of you guys will be excited about. We're nearing the end of the year, and I'm going to start putting together some of my top 5 lists. And I feel like this is a shoe that it's a shoe that I think a lot of you guys will like or have been liking. I think a lot of you guys have been running in it. But I feel like I probably need to go for a test run in it so I can at least be conversant in it before I make my top 5 list. All right. Miguel says, do the tag 2 friends things first. Sure, I'll go first. I'm going to tag Kipchoge and Kiptum. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, I get, you know what? Since I said something about that, I haven't been getting tagged in those kinds of contests anymore. I used to get tagged in those kinds of things all the time. And, I see them. I see the tags. I'm not huge. I've got like 60,000 followers on Instagram, which is a lot. I feel like that is a lot, but it's also not like, if you tag me, it's not completely anonymous. I'll probably see it. And so it just got super annoying. And maybe it's because I just started blocking people that did that. And maybe it was just like the same handful of people that were ruining it for everybody. But anyway, Daniel Burton says, where's the massage ball? I don't know. I moved the table. Things got shifted around. Also, here's the update for the related to that is I've been sending out the merch. So the first kind of like round of packages went out. I did as many as I could this morning. I think it auto generates emails for you guys. I dropped it off at the post office before my run today. I'll do some more this afternoon and this evening. I'll have another batch to go out tomorrow morning, but I got the New York City Marathon video done, the New York Runners Weekend video done, and now it's kind of back to like regular schedule of like videos. So I should have more time to get to the packages. Hopefully it'll just go much faster than within the next day or two they'll go out, is what I'm hoping. But with all that being said, everything's shifted around here in the basement. And so like, I don't know where stuff is. Yeah, actually I don't know where the massage ball went. Adam says, yesterday, an almost 10-year-old boy ran 42:20 at my 10K race trail with 600 feet of climbing at 5,600 feet. Whew. I'm going to do this. Yeah, that's the one I need. That's pretty impressive. Hope the race went well overall, Adam. Kyle Patton says, you should put together some top 5 with oddball superlatives, like top 5 pull tabs. Do we need that? That might be a better fit for Instagram. Now I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've done a little bit of a tweak to kind of my social media posting, and I've been going back and forth on this for a long time, but I've already had. And you guys are watching right now the Kzi Run Club channel, which is where I host the live streams and interviews. And, the clips that I've been making these live streams, I've been putting on the main Kzi channel as a way of hopefully driving more traffic back to this channel. But I feel like those kinds of videos are very different. And so, you guys understand me, and you guys understand that like a runner can be goofy and serious at the same, always at the same time, but like can have two sides. But I feel like for algorithm purposes and for new subscribers, it can be confusing, if not like jarring a little bit. So I've been putting all the unboxing shorts on the Kzi Run Club channel and leaving all the Kzi stuff on the Kzi channel. I think that will make more sense to a lot of people. I hate having 2 accounts, but I think that just is going to work better. And I've also done that. I've created a separate account, a Kzi Run Club Instagram account as well. And the same kind of division is going to happen over there. So I feel like that kind of fun stuff, I think will go well over there. Although every once in a while, I'll probably cross-post and do like Kzi as a collaborator on the Kzi Run Club post for stuff that I think both sides will really like. Kind of like the morning routine ones that I think those are pretty funny. Or maybe I'll just leave them on the Kzi Run Club channel. I don't know. Sorry, it's boring, like Instagram influencer stuff. You guys don't want to know about that. Kyle Patton says, top 5 shoes to run in when intending no less than 4 marathon shakeouts. Oh, that's an easy. That would be a fun one. I've done that before in the. Was it the Rebel no, I did it in the Tracksmith Elliott. That was actually a pretty good one to do it. 4. It wasn't 4 shakeouts, but it was 4 runs in one day. All short, but like, I don't know. I've done it. And then I did the Nova Blast 4. I think I've done it in the Nova Blast 3. I don't know. That's a fun category. All right. Cal Hong says the Kzi Run Club is for us unserious, serious runners. Yeah, I think so. I think it's just more a place where it could have more goofy stuff, you know? I mean, I'm not a comedy channel by any means, but like, I just feel like if you guys have seen me get interviewed, or even when I interview people a lot, a topic I frequently come back to is like, I don't understand like the broy, like runner version of like runner Joe Rogan, like archetype that seems to be developing in the running influencer space. Like, it's very strange to me because we all remember what the distance runners were like in high school. It was the goofy kids with long hair that tried to go really bad facial hair, but almost none of us could. We all wore the really short shorts, and we were just all the outcasts together, right? So I feel like that's what I'm trying to bring forward in the Kzi Run Club is like, keep running long distance running weird. I mean, it's not even keep running distance weird. It's like, stop hiding the fact that we're all goofballs. It's kind of what I'm going for with that. So that's kind of where I'm going for with the Kzi Run Club stuff. And then like, you know, the other, I guess, more produced stuff. Not that some of us aren't produced, but you know what I mean? I think that's kind of how I'm trying to do it. Johnny Dodgen says, I appreciate you pinning my comment on the New York Runners Weekend YouTube. I'm also going to sit the whole family down and watch it after the run club. Oh, awesome, Johnny. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, that's fun. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys have been posting some really nice comments on some of the latest videos, and I really appreciate you guys. All Heart Run Club says, great New York Weekend video, Mike. Freaking awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Raj Kumar Marshinji says, Yoko Fuzzy, fantastic Runners Weekend. Congrats on the New York Times print. Sunday, November 5th, page 8. Question, will you use ketchup as fuel? Not a joke, thanks. I will absolutely not be using ketchup as fuel for two main reasons. The number one main reason is like, we are a huge ketchup lovers in this house, and my kids often want me to pack them lunches where they might want to have some ketchup in their lunch. And so anytime I have extra ketchup packets, that's what I put in there, because I'd rather not send them with like a little Tupperware of ketchup, because that just always gets messy, no matter how like watertight it is. So it's very valuable commodity in the school lunch packing sense. I mean, I don't know. I've never asked my kids if there's ketchup available to them at the lunchroom, but I always pack it for them if there's something that they're going to want to eat with ketchup. So that's one thing. It's too valuable to use elsewhere. And number two, I feel like what's funny, the funniest part about the Heinz like ad campaign is that like people have been taking it so seriously that like nutritionists have had to respond. And so like I've heard Featherston comment on it saying that like, look, that ketchup is acidic and all that acid in your stomach is probably not a good idea. And then vomiting up a bunch of red ketchup is not going to make any medical tent volunteer happy. So there's one. And then even Laura Green had to comment on it too. And she made a reel about using ketchup as a hydration or nutrition. And so like that, it's definitely a terrible idea. The packet size is convenient. And the other like thing about it that I suppose is appealing is that like, it's kind of free. Like you could like, I guess, go to like a restaurant that still has ketchup packets out and like grab a handful. But I'm like, I mean, you're getting what you pay for on that one. All right. Paul Public says, I had a PB in the half marathon on Saturday, 1:36:15. Here for the bell. Yes. Great job, Paul. That's very fast. And he says, I'm here for the bell, but also for tips, workout, race management, etc. to crush the end. Was cruising at 4:27 per kilometer, but only 4:50s for the last 4K. It's a puzzle that needs solving. Yeah. So, I mean, either like a half marathon, it's probably not a nutrition problem. It could be, you know, if you're taking zero gels or if you're eating ketchup packets along the way, then having like a gel somewhere along the way is probably going to do wonders for you. But probably it's going to be either like a fitness thing, like you got to keep working to get stronger to maintain that, or it's a pacing problem. So we're, if you were cruising at 427s and you didn't like being at 450s for the last 4K, which is a quarter of the race, right? If you think about it. So then like maybe your goal pace should have been closer to maybe like 435, 440, and then rather than like dying at the end, then you can really push for those last 4K instead. And really pushing would probably end up looking like maintaining speed. So like that's something that I would think about. Like really you got to look at your training and like, is it maybe you just needed a different day? And maybe the fitness is there. Maybe you needed a more favorable course, something flatter, or is 427 really the right pace for you? So that's one way to look at it. But also like, you hit a PB on Saturday. So like you did a lot right. So. All right. Tails Zimileto says, I'm happy I made it to a Kofuzi Runners Weekend video. I was one of the 1,000 running at the Believe in the Run Shakeout with New Balance. Well, thanks for coming out. Good to see you guys. I knew that it was going to be a big event. It went off much more smoothly than I anticipated. I thought that there was just going to be like a lot of honking and people yelling at us and stuff about like taking up too much space, but it seemed to go about as smoothly as a shakeout run of that size can go. I had a great time seeing all you guys, and it wasn't until I did the time lapse of giving everyone a high five or trying to give everyone a high five that like I really saw like just how many people were in that space at once. That was really amazing for me to see. All right. Mark says, we took family pictures of the weekend and we walked towards a very pine needle lined trail. And I thought to myself, this is where I do the tracksmith Elliot. Those pine needle laden trails. That's what it was born on. But you know what? If you had the tracksmith Elliot, you wouldn't, the pine needles would be redundant, because that's what they're supposed to be. All right. Let me scroll down a little bit more, catch up with you guys. All right. Martha says, I asked this in your video comments. Do you know if the at-large runners who apply for the train to New York City with Believe in the Run are all East Coasters? Is that required? They are not all East Coasters. One of them is Cather Run 26.2. Catherine. She actually lives out in the suburbs over here. And we actually have never met in person. I yelled at her on the course, and we kind of like have been interacting before, even before she became part of the train to New York City. But like, because I've been following her for a while before then, and yeah, she was the one that told me about the track that's out, that one that I go to. It's at, what's the college? It's a community college out here. I forget the track that I go to that's out here. She's the one that told me about it. I mean, I'd seen it, I'd driven past it before, but then I saw that she was on it one time, and then I asked her a question. I was like, tell me about this track. Is it easy to get onto? Is there fences that I have to hop? So she gave me the lowdown on that. And so they're not all from the East Coast. I'm trying to think of where anyone else is from, but I'm not sure. Steve McKellar says, I think we should wear name tags at the next shakeout so we can recognize fellow Kzi Run Club members. Should we have name tags? Name tags where you just put your usernames on there? I feel like that's kind of fun. I like that idea a lot. All right. Well, maybe. We haven't finalized it yet, but I'm talking with a brand for doing something at CIM. And I feel like we can get some name tags. I think that's a good idea. And Martha says, name tags is a great idea. I think that'd be fun. And you don't have to, but anyone that wants to, I just think that's a nice thing. Because it will be a not running event. It will, you know what I mean? So like, and I'm thinking like, do you guys want to do a shakeout too? Maybe we should do a shakeout too. But there's there's going to be a non-running event that we'll do at CIM. So don't book your flights. If your flights are booked, don't book them too early. Because we're going to want to hang out later. Leon M says, do you have any shoe recommendations similar to the Endorphin Speed 3? I got a gift card for a run shoe store. I wanted some new daily trainers similar to my Endorphin Speeds. What are similar to the Endorphin Speed? I would say one, here's going to be an unpopular recommendation, but one that I think really works. Topo Cyclone 2. And if you've got a gift card, that might be a fun time to try something that you might not have tried before. So that'll be a fun one. I would also look at the Deviate Nitro 2. Where is that shoe? I'm trying to think if I see it on my wall. Where is it? It's somewhere. That's another one that I would look at. Let's see, what else is out there that would be similar to the Endorphin Speed 3? I'll start with some of those. Mark Peterson says, I think I would have recognized a lot more people at CIM last year with name tags. Although the rain at the ShakeOut would have ruined all of them. Man, we were just talking about that. It rained so hard. Remember, it rained so hard last year, and then like 15 minutes after the ShakeOut, it stopped raining. Do you remember that? But you know what? What was nice is that like there was all those tents they had set up for like the next day, but no one was like in there or using them. So we all kind of hid underneath the tent and hung out. That was kind of fun. Alf Dickinson says, oh man, did you do the wall screenshot at the start? I didn't do it at the start, but I took a picture. So it'll be nicer quality than like taking a screenshot of a live stream, hopefully. And so we'll do that. And then you guys can always like zoom in or out on it as you need to, if you want to actually use it as a background. But yeah, I'll do that. All right, Eliza says, box. Guys, I have 2 boxes here. I have a feeling you're going to want to look at this other one. But I do got to eventually get to the other one too. Here we go. It's another box, something that I ordered myself. Usually their boxes are a little easier to open. Here we go. Another orange box. And today, we're going to take a look at Vaporfly 3. This is a very lightweight shoe, and it's even got like the cardboard insert in here, but man, this is really lightweight. I ran in the Vaporfly 2. I only tested the Vaporfly 2 on like one little mini test run. I'll probably do something very similar to this one. I saw that it was in stock back when I was ordering the Vomero 17. I saw that this one was in stock still, and I was like, I should probably pick one up while they're available. If I try to wait till later, it might be close to another marathon time, and who knows what happens with inventory. So I picked up one up while I had the chance. I was going to wait to actually run in this until I got the Alphafly 3. But I was like, you know what? I should probably run in it at least once before I put my top 5 list together for the end of the year. So we'll do that. The ZoomX reminds me more of like the original 4% ZoomX. It's got that kind of like weird, almost like a film on top of the foam that feels kind of old school. I like what they're doing down here. It says ZoomX rubber and then fly plate. 62.9 grams for the ZoomX, 23 grams for the rubber, and 18 grams for the fly plate. You could see the fly plate in here. And then this upper, really nice and airy. I forgot that they still do this, like the off-center lacing. But yeah, strong smell. Very strong plasticky smell. And super lightweight. So I think these will be fun. Maybe I'll take them to the track. Kyle Pat wants to know how they taste. You really want to eat these? The smell is very strong. It's not an appetizing smell. Very breathable though. This is one of the most breathable uppers that I've come across this year, maybe. Tastes like rubber. Does not taste good. Just so you know. Eric says, it smells like VOCs in the morning. Yeah, I think so. I think I just gave myself COVID. Sega Dreamcast says, I found a pair of Vaporfly 4% at a thrift shop in London Marathon colorway over the weekend. Doesn't fit me, bro. For $7, it might be a conversation piece for any running nerd that visit. That's pretty funny. $7? Wow. What's the London Marathon color? I don't think I looked at that one. No, I don't think I know what that one looks like. And Eliza says the bottom seems so smooth. It kind of does. It doesn't feel like it's as grippy as Vaporfly 2. And certainly not as grippy as Vaporfly 1. But no one's complained about, I mean, I don't really read reviews on the Vaporflies, but it doesn't seem like people are complaining about it being slippery. I mean, I think it'll be fine. But then again, it's so hard to tell sometimes. Like, when people are like, man, I'm looking at that outsole and it looks like it's going to be slippery. I'm like, how can you tell? Like, I look at the On Cloud Boom Echo 3 and it looks like it might be a little bit slippery. The lugs aren't that deep, and it kind of is. I look at the Rocket X, the Rocket X2, and I'm like, oh, that one's going to be a lot of grip. But that shoe's one of the slipperiest shoes I've run in all year. And then things like the Adios Pro 1, which is like a slick of rubber on the outsole, that one was great. So I don't even know how to tell. All right, PFC Manor says, yo, what's going on, everyone? 5K challenge, week 30 complete. Let's ring the bell. Great job. 30 weeks in. So is it 30 weeks? When did you start? I feel like we're more than 30 weeks into the year, aren't we? When did you, and then you must have started it later, huh? Cosmic Pineapple Michael says the Vaporfly 3 looks way better than the Vaporfly 2, which had that very pointy heel and looked kind of alien. They all look kind of alien. I think that's the thing. I mean, it's a beautiful design. And it's been a shoe that's been performing well for some of the pros. So it'll be interesting to see how it does. Affluent Journey says, I want those black ones to go on sale. I do like this color. The black, and is it like it's almost like a rose gold on the outside? No. All right. Jared Kano says, shorts recommendations, pockets and liner required. After looking at some race pics, I realized half tights don't always look great on me. LOL. I think it depends on the length that you're looking for. One of my absolute favorites right now, I don't know if they still have them in stock. Bandit makes a pair. The one that I have, it's like a blue color, a little bit of ombre, but it's like a 5-inch short. They call it a 5-inch short, but it feels like a 4-inch short. And there's a really good liner on it that still feels great even in hot summer, but also can fit a phone in the side pocket. That's my favorite, like 2-in-1, like liner in pockets. And I'm assuming by liner, you mean like 2-in-1s where the liner's longer, or you just want lined shorts with pockets. Because then Rabbit makes some good ones that have lots of pockets that I think could work for you as well. Like I would look at the Trail series. The Trail ones usually are better suited for pockets from Rabbit than are those like the regular road ones. So those are some that I would look at too. All right. Aman Marfatia says, for Adidas, what's the difference between the Adizero and the Duramo line of shoes? Are they both good? Because I'm seeing Adidas Duramo SL and the Adizero SL shoes. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with Duramo. The only time I've ever seen it online or in person was at the Adidas Clubhouse in New York. I get the sense from the way that people responded to my surprise at seeing those shoes that this is a line of shoes that has existed in European or non-US markets for a very long time. And I also get the sense that maybe it is kind of like a more budget oriented tier of shoes compared to more like the flagships, which the Adizero would tend to be flagship. But I will say it depends on what Adizero used to be only reserved for their top tier performance line. Like there's Adizero soccer cleats, there's Adizero football cleats, there's Adizero like racing running shoes. But now Adizero, at least in the running line, there's an entire lineup from race day to easy day. So they're becoming less meaningful as terms at this point, except for the fact that the Duramo, I don't know if it's even sold in the US. Maybe I don't know. It's not a running specialty. So I'm afraid I don't know that much, but I think I've told you everything that I know about Duramo at this point. Anna says, I just tuned in. Should I be worried that Mike is sniffing shoes? I'm testing the breathability. I do it for you guys. Breathability is always a question. People always want to know how breathable is that shoe. So I'm just giving the people what they want. Phil Ortman says, instead of getting shorts with liners in them, I prefer BYOL, bring your own liner. I can go both ways. The only ones that I tend to really enjoy that don't have a liner in it are the Path Projects ones, because they're built that way. You can buy like their running underwear or bring your own running underwear. And then you have like a shell that goes on top of your underwear. And those also have really good pockets. And they're usually in the 5-inch variety. And so those are some really good ones too. If you want to go like the runderwear or running underwear and then shorts on top, Kyle says, here's a shorts challenge. Shorts with a liner built for big booties. I got some cake and I don't want it falling out. I just love, this is the funniest question. I don't know. I got a little tiny butt, I guess. I've always been that way. I'm not going to be the best one to ask for that one. I would refer that question to some of my bigger, taller friends. Like Herm or Drew. They're bigger dudes than I am. So I will defer to those guys. I know Herm likes Adidas for most of his apparel. And also one of my friends, Martinez Evans, 300 pounds and running on Instagram. He says that Adidas usually does a really good job of catering to the big guys. So that'd be one way to look. I think that's where I would start. I would look at some of the Adidas stuff. Yeah, Kyle says, yep, Herm said the Adidas ones are good. It's going to order some of those, I think. See, I go with that. Aaron Paramount says, my tiny butt. TV76 says, I've got a tiny butt. Man. And it says, apparently my Speed Goat 5s are nearly at 400 miles. I was planning on retiring them soon. I don't want to run them until they have gone too far like I normally do. How do the rest of you manage this? It's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think that like if you are like, these shoes are gonna go soon, I would start doing my shopping, and then now's a pretty good time to be ordering some shoes. We're getting into like the whole like holiday shopping season. Black Friday's coming up in a couple weeks. Not that running shoes go on huge discount typically, but you might be able to find some deals. I've been getting some emails. My inbox is getting slammed with them. Like Kraft just sent out an email today. Asics sent out an email. Was it Fleet Feet? Was it Running Warehouse? I got an email from one of the running shoe stores about, discounts. So like now's a pretty good time to start looking. And then you can kind of buy when you're ready instead of like, oof, yeah, I can't keep running on these anymore. And then have to rush to buy. That's how I would manage it. Oh, Scott Hilton says, if you are interested in getting another one, Scott Hilton says, REI has been putting some Speedgoat 5 colorways on sale in store. Do they have REIs in Scotland? I wonder. Phil Ortman says, sounds like an opportunity to create shorts for a niche market called cakewalks. Oh, man. Now I get why you guys are saying cupcake. All right. That's so funny. Daniel Burton says, Cyber Monday has great deals at Running Warehouse. Oh, do they? Okay. Maybe I should have waited before I bought all these Nike shoes because I haven't even run in them yet. I haven't even ran in the Velmero 17 yet. I've just been so busy with trying to get the merch together, trying to get these latest videos out. Man, they just became giant projects. And then, Now I'm just like finally coming up for air. And I'm like, ooh, I gotta get I think the next video that's gonna come out is gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be the supernova. It might be the cloud eclipse. I gotta figure out which is the on cloud eclipse out? Is that for sale already? Are people buying it, or does that not come out till later? I don't remember. Because like the supernova rise doesn't come out till December 1, so I can kind of wait, but I'll probably do that within the next, week and a half or so before Thanksgiving. And then, well, here's the thing. So I gotta review on cloud eclipse, Vomero 17, and then supernova rise. And then I think once I have those out, those are like the rest of the shoes that I really need to review for the rest of the year. And then I could start I think I am going to do a holiday gift guide for runners. Kind of my usual thing. Here's a couple of guides here's a couple of different recommendations at a couple of different price points and stuff that doesn't require knowing anyone's shoe size kind of thing. So I might do that. I'll have that come out like Thanksgiving week. And then after that, I'll try to do the top 5s, and that'll get us close to the end of the year. Because then there's also going to be the running event. So there'll be another runner's weekend in Austin. And then I'll be in Sacramento. So that's pretty much it. Like my content calendar I guess, is kind of full for the rest of the year. Excuse me. I'm burping on the microphones again. But yeah, so I got to figure all that out. But I should have waited. Probably could have saved some bucks. Sarah A says, "Hi, Co. Finally made it to the live. I'm getting married next year in New York City on the day of the marathon. If I tag New York runners in photos, do you think that could be a scheme for guaranteed entry? LOL. I'm not sure. It might be for the next year. If you like get married in running, like if you have like, maybe you take a photo, but even then they'll probably just like be like, and then nothing else. I don't know. But that's pretty brave, Sarah, to get married in New York on marathon weekend. You know what's funny? When I was in Chamonix at the finish line, right at the finish line, where it's like just crowd, like it's like a crush of people deep like near the finish line, right at the finish line on like the right hand side, if you're looking at the finish, there is like a hotel / like banquet hall. And like, as like the pros were finishing at UTMB, it was like during the day, or like getting into the evening, there was a wedding that like people like came out of the church after they got married. It wasn't a church, or like came out of in the reception hall. And I was just like, oh, do you think they knew? They must have known. They must be like runners too. But I'm like, if you were runners, why would you do that? Because then you can't watch any of the races, especially if your friends are running, then you can't see them, or you have to make your friends go all the way to Chamonix and not run. So I was like, I don't know. Or do you just like book the wedding and you're like, I don't know why hotels are so expensive this week. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. That seems like a lot. Best wishes for you, Sarah. Congratulations on your engagement. James Ford says, "Are you buying into the super daily trainers, the plated shoes, originally the plates for the race speed days?" So I know Believe in the Run loves to use, and we never talked about this. I never talked about this with them. I know they love the term super stack, but I don't like the term at all. And I also feel like we already had a term for those shoes, and we called them speed day shoes or workout shoes, session shoes, right? So it used to be, we had like our daily, like max cushion, daily trainer, speed, race. And those are the categories that I'm going to be using. So like, I actually don't have like a philosophical preference one way or the other for plates. I don't like when people are like plated shoes are bad for you and all this stuff. I'm just like, I think we're missing the point here. I think we're missing the point of what we're actually trying to talk about is what does the shoe feel like, right? And so for a lot of times, a plate in the shoe was a nice shorthand or euphemism for a shoe that's aggressive and meant for someone that's going to be on their toes and running faster, and not something that you use for every day. And so, but now that they're putting plates in all sorts of kind of shoes, from everything from like the Bondi X to like DV8 Nitro 2, which is kind of a speed day shoe, kind of an everyday shoe, even like the DV8 Nitro 1. Like those shoes, like they have plated elements in there, or like the SC Trainer version 2, but it doesn't mean the shorthand no longer applies, right? And so now we have to be like, well, how do we categorize these? And so you can categorize them as like super stack or the super trainers if you want. But to me, that's as useful as categorizing shoes by color. You know, it's just like what we're really trying to get to is like you categorize shoes by like what they do. And like the carbon plate is just an element that changes either the rigidity or the responsiveness, but it also works as part of the system with the foams too. And so like I feel like, you know, when we focus too much on the carbon plate, it's kind of like the myriad number of people who have been like commenting on the Nova Blast 4 and are like, I wonder if the rubber's okay. And I'm like, it's a whole shoe. And also I've never had problems with the outsoles. But it's like we're over focusing on one little element of it and missing the rest of the shoe for what it is. So I feel like I don't actually care if there's a plate. Like it's not something that excites me or that makes me angry when it's in there. I want to know, how does it fit in the system and what does the whole system feel like? You know, so like I guess plate agnostic is the best way that I can put it, you know? But yeah, that was my little rant for the day, I guess. Let's see. Adam Cheney says, hey, I joined a little late. What's the big update on the merch? It's not a big update. Just letting people know that some of them started to go out, the latest singlets. And then I'll get to the rest of them hopefully today. If not today, I'll get to them today. So they'll go out first thing tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and then hopefully by Wednesday at the latest is when the last remaining ones will go out. Everything's sold out except for some women's small. Women's small are remaining, but everything else sold out pretty fast, which I'm very surprised about and appreciative for you guys. But I'm also like looking at the piles of stuff over there, and I'm like, oh, I got a lot of packages to get filled. And I do think that there should be enough koozies for everybody too. I've been signing them with some Sharpie on the back, but like signing a koozie is not the most elegant thing. So I did my best, guys. I'm doing my best. So yeah. Brian Albrecht says, any tips for planning training through a real winter? More weight room time, more easy running? Great question. I think it depends on what's the goal? Like, do you have a race coming up? So I have a race coming up in January, the Houston Half. So like I'll be training, but it won't be like the hardest part of the winter up here for a lot of that training. So like, you know, I won't have to do too much adjusting. I also really enjoy running in the cold. Now, like when I was getting ready for Tokyo Marathon, that was a lot of doing training in like the worst parts of winter. The parts where it's like, it's not even snowing that much anymore. It's just like cold for no reason, you know, that kind of winter. That was hard, but like, you know, that's maybe one of the reasons why I like training by effort so much is because like, yeah, I'm wearing like 4 times the amount of clothes that I normally would during a workout, and traction isn't always that great. So I'm not going to care as much about the paces as long as I'm putting in work, like the right effort level, then I feel okay about it. So that's something I try to do. If the weather's so inclement that you can't even do that, then I would say like, you know, treadmill is going to be your best friend, and figure out some workouts that you can do on that to make it more enjoyable. If you really don't like the treadmill and like, or I'll do it for workouts, then, you know, you can cross train with a lot of bike. But I would also say, again, it depends on like when your next race is, right? So like previously, well, I wasn't doing a lot of racing in the spring. So the winter was just run to enjoy it. And it was like my lowest mileage period in terms of weekly mileage for the year. And I would be happy if I got like, you know, these days I'm getting like about 60 miles per week.
And that's kind of on the medium to almost kind of, yeah, about on the medium side for me. But it used to be like my like peak marathon mileage, 60 to 65. And then in the winters back then when I was running, like peaking at 60 to 65, my winter mileage would be like 35 to 40 for a week. And I was like, that's great. I'm just running to stay fit through the winter so I don't hibernate like a bear. And then when the spring hits, I'm ready to go. So that's kind of how I would approach it, a couple of different ways. All right. Rhett Stevens says, any trail shoe suggestions for flat trails with lots of roots? Been looking at Craft Norlight Ultra, but want some other recommendations if possible. Flat trails with lots of roots. I'm not sure how to approach that one. Would you want something softer or something more firm? If you want something softer than like the Norlight Ultra, then I would look at like the Trabuco Max 2. That one's a lot of fun. It's got a decent amount of grip on it. The lugs are spaced wide apart, so it might fit around like the contours of a root really well. So that could be one. But if you think that the better way to go about it is to get something with more like teeth, then something like the I think like the Solomon Thundercross could be a really fun one. It's got pretty deep lugs, lots of space in between the lugs too, and the lugs are pretty firm. But it's also like pretty chill. So like that's something that can go with flat trails with lots of roots. So those will be kind of like two ways to look at it, depending on what you think you want underfoot, lug wise. But I have to say, I mean, this may be a little bit beyond my area of expertise, this level of specificity in a trail running shoe. PK says, I've been accused of being an off-brand Kofuzi. And he says, I couldn't be more proud of this compliment. All right. I like that. That sounds pretty fun. All right. Eric Bensky says, what's going on? Late to the party today, but I set a big 50-mile PR this weekend at Stowmill, coming in at 10 hours and 38 minutes. 50K PR in there too at 5:46. What a great day. That is amazing, Eric. I can't even imagine running that long. That seems like such a long time. 5:46 for the 50K as well. It's nice and speedy. Nice. Kyle Patton says, is the Supernova Rise P-backs? That's a good question. I actually don't know. A lot of people were telling me that they were excited that it's a Peba foam. And that's different information than what I have. I'm not saying that that's wrong. But the information that I have from Adidas is that it is a supercritical foam intended to give a Light Strike Pro-like experience. So like that and it's 20% bio-based as well. So I'm actually wondering if it's like the same kind of. At this point, I'm like, is this just the same foam that's in the Nova Blast 4, Supernova, Rise, Hoka, Clifton 9, and 1080 version 13? They all feel pretty similar to me. The way that they're shaped, their geometries, their rockers, their stack heights, all make them feel pretty different to me. But the foams themselves, I'm like, these are all pretty close this year. So I feel like I'm wondering if it's just the same foam. But yeah, my information says that it's just a supercritical foam and that I don't have any further specificity on that. I haven't followed up to ask. Maybe the person that's reporting that has asked. But I also feel like if it were Peba based, even a portion of it, that'd be like highlight fact number 1 in the spec sheet. And on my spec sheet that I have, it's not listed anywhere. I'll before I put the review out, I will definitely reread it 3-4 more times just to make sure. But I can't confirm or deny it. But that's not. But I definitely can't confirm it. Does that make sense? Okay. Luis says, Capuzzi's have been posting on the Discord some really good shoe sales. Wouldn't mind more people sharing this great deals. Ooh, that's a good idea. Good job, guys. You guys are, you know what? To the guys that are running the Discord and moderating over there, they're doing such a good job. Oh, don't forget. It's not too late. I think we could still sign up. There's a gift exchange that you can sign up for on the Discord as well. I got to take a look at it. I've just been buried, but I'll take a look at that today again. Will Willing says, is there a half marathon in New York City that gives a similar experience as the marathon? There is a New York City half. Tommy Runs ran it this year. He ran it in a button-up Tracksmith polo shirt. And he said that it was so cold that all the snot that came out of his nose froze to his face. It was very, very cold. It's early. I think it's before Boston in New York. So it's usually a cold race. So I don't think it quite gives the same experience, but it's run by New York road runners. A lot of people run it. I mean, that's probably the closest. Jared Crano says, will you be hosting a Houston ShakeOut? I'll be doing the marathon. I'm thinking about it. I mean, the other times that I've done an event in Houston, it's been really informal. We just meet in front of that one place that has the bathrooms by the river. I think you guys call it a lake. We just meet there and we run along the river for a little bit. I don't know. Since I'm racing, I'm not really planning on doing something very structured and organized. So if people just want to hang out and like get a couple miles in, then that's probably more along the lines of what it's going to look like. Houston's going to be pretty low key for me because I'm trying to run on that one, you know. And Sarah, hey, following up on getting married New York City Marathon weekend, she goes, thank you. We did know about the race. We're having a small amount of people and things are happening below Central Park and hoping to run the 5K the day before. There you go. You know what? You would definitely get onto, I feel like you would definitely get onto their Instagram feed though, if you ran with like a veil, maybe like a bride sash, you know what I mean? Like something like that. Like I feel like that would definitely be a picture that would make it to their Instagram feed. I don't know if that'll get you entry for next year, though. Let's see. What else we got here? Let's do a couple more. And then we look at that. It's already 52 minutes into this. Calvin says, I'm still waiting for my A6 Pizza t-shirt. You know what? I didn't even send your last week's winners. I didn't send the names along. Here, and that's my fault. You guys were really good about getting me your addresses and stuff, but I didn't send those. But like everyone that's in charge of sending those was at New York Marathon last week, so like we're all just swamped. So that's why there's a delay on getting those pizza shirts out. Sorry. Sean Doolin says, am I going to restock again? No, that's going to be the last restock for these. And then I won't, like just so for the people that bought them, it's not like I'm going to make a different singlet. So that's going to be the club singlet for a while. There will be, I've been telling people that have been messaging me about it on Instagram. There will be different Kofuzi merch early 2024. So that's coming. But unfortunately that's going to be it. We'll see if there's any extra koozies left over. Maybe I get everyone some koozies. All right, let's do one more. Daniel Burton says, is there another box? There is another box, but I think we'll save that for another day. Because we're getting close to the end here. Yeah, it's the one. Remember, it's the one that we keep not picking, and I feel bad about it at this point because now I just feel like it's like the untouchable box, and it's all the way over there. I didn't leave it close to this desk anyway. But remember that one day I was like, you guys can pick one of the two. We never got to the second one. It's still over there. and I probably should open it soon. Because I'm definitely going to want that soon. Because I think I know what's in there. I'm definitely going to want that soon. Stevie76 says, the river in Houston is a bayou. What is it called, that river that runs through Houston? It's called a lake, right? Or am I confusing it with Austin? Austin also has a river running through it that they call Lady Bird Lake for no reason. But I thought in Houston, who knows? Who's here from Houston? And Bishan Mom says, and she might be right on this one, the Brooklyn half is probably the closest in energy to like the New York Marathon that New York provides in a half marathon format. The thing is, though, a large part of that course, there is not a lot of crowd support. So that's one thing. It does end in Coney Island, which is super fun. And then the year that I watched it, the after party is open to like everybody. So I was able to get in there. And it's inside like the, I don't know what, the minor league baseball team. It's inside the stadium. So you're just hanging out like on the infield of a baseball stadium, which is kind of fun. It was super hot that year. I'm guessing it's super hot every year. But that was a fun one. I did enjoy watching that race. It's really spectator friendly too. All right. I think that's going to be a good place to end it for today, guys. Tomorrow I'll have a follow-up answer on the body of water that's in Houston. I'm going to go Google that. And then we'll get to the untouchable box. We'll do that other one that's over there. So that'll be tomorrow. So until I see you then, guys, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.